Hello there. I'm going to set up the Hawk network for the Hawk program needed to run the MK Formation Tester software. Very simple to do. I'm going to take you through it, very straightforward. You only need to do that once, and then you can run the MK Formation Tester software as long as you don't change the settings on it. You can turn the computer off, it won't change it, it'll stay stored. Very straightforward. So let's set up the network for the Hawk. So I would need to open up the File Explorer on Windows. So what I do is I put the mouse over the Start button and click the right mouse key. The Start button's on the lower left of your window there, the monitor. Put it over the Windows key, right mouse key, and choose File Explorer. And then on the left-hand side, you scroll down to where it says Network. Now I've turned off the search on Network. It actually has a little search in there. And so it gives me this message, Discovery is turned off, which I do intentionally. So if you get that Discovery is off, that's fine. Don't worry about that. I select it and then right mouse key, and I select Properties. So I go to the Properties of the network, okay? Then I select Change Adapter Settings. Okay, and now I found my Ethernet cable, which is connected from my computer to the Hawk itself. So if your computer doesn't have an Ethernet port on it, you'll have to use one of the adapters. I'm using an RD9700 USB to Ethernet adapter here, as you can see. Double click that, and I can see it's all connected. My drivers are good, everything's fine there. So now I right mouse key, okay, and I hit Properties. So the right mouse key, Properties again. So now I find Internet Protocol version 4. Double click that, and you can see I've typed in a fixed IP address here. So what I mean by an IP address is I put in the number 192.168.20.17 in each ordinal. These are called ordinals, these numbers separated by a decimal. So on the Hawk, I'm going to type in the exact same 3 sets of numbers, 192.168.20. When I get to the last ordinal, last set of numbers here, I'm going to type in a different number, not 17. 17 is for the Windows network. I'll put a different number in the last ordinal on the Hawk. So just remember that. So once I type in this number, 192.168.20.17, I hit Tab, and this subnet mask populates automatically. And if it doesn't, you can type in 255.255.255.0. Don't worry about the lower menu. You're good to go. Hit OK. And hit OK to close this out. And now your Ethernet's good. Ethernet cable is good, so you can close out those menus. So Windows IP fixed address is set up with the IP address 192.168.20.17. Now we're going to set up the Hawk program. Well, I've already got it running, so it doesn't let you restart it twice, which is nice. Now I'm going to delete it here because I've already set it up, just to show you what a blank menu looks like. I'm going to hit Remove, clear it out. If your menu looks like this when you start, just hit the 00. Or better still, do a local search right there. You see that on the lower right? That finds if you got anything connected. Isn't that nice? Lower right, local search. Sometimes you don't have the Hawk paired to the first set of numbers here. Sometimes it's 01, 02. So local search is the way to go. Or it could show up partially like mine. You can see I've got one red button here. I don't want red. So I double click on the 00 on the numbers, and it brings me to the Hawk menu. Now I typed in already 192.168.20.20, not .17. And then I hit Tab, and I get these numbers, and you can type them in if it doesn't auto-populate. Net mask of 255.000, and don't worry about the lower 2 sets of numbers, the gateway or the MAC address. So the first thing here inside the Hawk, just type in those numbers, 192.168.20.20. The last number cannot be 17, because we use that for Windows. The second thing I do is send the script file. I hit Select, and I choose DCU1. If I've got an old formation tester that is 2011 or earlier, I select the old form, but we don't usually ship with that. So it's DCU1. I double click DCU1 and hit Send. I get a warning here say we're in capture mode, which is what we want. We want to capture data. Sending a script will cause basically a hiccup. That's fine. We're not saving data at this point. So I hit OK. And then I get a file sent message. I'm good to go. The last thing here is end the pause. Check to make sure it's there for you. You hit End Pause. If it shows pause, don't click this. So it depends on what it says. In my case, it is saying end the pause. I want to end it. So I'm good. I ended the pause, hit close, and look at that. 2 green signals. Now that's nice. 2 green buttons, excuse me. That means I'm communicating with Windows. Now be careful. You want to make sure the flat ribbon cable on the Hawk is connected to the 25-pin printer port on the back of your MK formation tester. In other words, you want to make sure that those two are connected well. You may want to use number 4 screws to hold in the ribbon cable to the MK, because this menu here just says the Ethernet cable is communicating with the Hawk, not the ribbon cable. So make sure the ribbon cable is secure. Now, I have to make sure that these programs are not blocked by Windows Firewall. That's important. So I go into the search box of Windows. I don't think it will show up in this menu here. I'm just going to type it in here. I don't think it'll show up in my little program that we're using to record here. Just type in Firewall, and you'll get a Windows Defender Firewall message. And I allow an app or feature through the Windows Defender Firewall. Click on that one. And then I hit change the settings, and under allow another app, I click that. I browse to the root drive, the C folder, and there are 2 files here I want to allow through the Windows Firewall. One is under the C drive, MK Systems middleware, the MK program here. Open that one, add that one. Oh, I've already added it. You can see. So I've already added it, so it's not going to let me add it twice. So you'll do that. Now, do the same thing with the Hawk. It's going to give me the same message, but I'll do it anyway. Hit allow another app, browse, and I go into the C MK Systems, and then that's under Control Console. There's the Hawk program. It's going to tell me I haven't added it. Yeah, I have. So I've already added it, so I can't add it a second time. But you'll be able to add it if it's not already there. And make sure both checkboxes here are selected with the MK Systems. I've got different versions on this computer, but basically you see I've got both checkboxes selected. And that's it, and then hit OK. Now the firewall won't block the data, which is very important. So now don't X out the Hawk program, just minimize it, and you're fine. You can let that, it won't let you run it twice, which is nice. You can even move it aside here, it doesn't matter. That'll keep running in the background. Now I run the MK program. So again, the Hawk program, it has to be running. So you have to launch both icons, but when you run in Hawk tomorrow after you shut your computer off, you don't have to change the settings. Just double click on Hawk and it'll show you you've got 2 green buttons and minimize it. Don't change the network settings again. You're done with that. So now in the MK program, once we launch that, this is the one you're going to run every day. You're going to put in, let's say for paper roll 1, I'll give it a unique name, paper roll 1. Now I don't need to put in -1, -2, -3, etc. The software will automatically increment it for me. If I have, say, 3 sheets from paper roll 1 from that wire, that roll, I'm going to run those with the same prefix file name, paper roll 1. And I just choose the aperture I'm using and the sensitivity, low, medium, or high. If you've got an MK formation tester prior to 2018, it'll say range 1, 2, and 3. Range 1 is medium, not low. Range 2 is low. So that's how it used to be set up. And after you run your tests, you're going to send the data. But before you do that, I would, once in a while, take a screenshot. The summary program is very nice. Or you can have it automatically do a screenshot for you. I like selecting that. And after I run my, let's say, 3 sheets, I hit the send button. And that will send all the data to the subfolders, the images, and the text files. So let's say at the end of the day, I run my tests, I close this program out, I want to summarize everything. I go into the formation summary program. Oh, I ran it already today. Let me delete that. So I'll see this summarize program here. I just double click that. It finds all the data from the subfolder that I ran, makes this nice summary program here with today's date, and it opens up nicely here. All my data is summarized, my prefix file names, they've got different numbers in them. My formation indexes, I took the clock out of my formation tester, so I've got 0 for my time here, time of day. So basically, it just stores all the data. Now, one nice thing to do with your data here is I like to run a correlation coefficient with the formation index. So that'll tell me if there's a relation between the formation index and, let's say, flock area, which is column H. So all I do to see that correlation, type equals correl, open the bracket, and I'll just select, let's see, from 16 to 28, and then 16 to 28 of column H. And let's see, I have a negative 0.49, so a slightly negative correlation. The closer I am to -1, the more negative or inverted that correlation is. So as one goes up, the other goes down. -1 is a perfectly negative correlation, and +1 is a perfectly positive correlation. So you want to see what factors impact formation. Does the flock area, the roughness index, the number of flocks? It's worth looking at. And that's really all there is to running this. So thank you for watching.